have a lovely couple that has recently bought some property, and the access goes right through the middle of their property. So we as a city are trying to have gone up and found we can grade a new path that'll get us to the switchbacks, mostly on city property, as much as we can. We want to be good neighbors. But it's a little growing pains getting there. We're in the process of ordering some signage so that we can put a few signs along the road that show the direction to where the access will be, and a sign at basically the entrance to the switchbacks that will have some basic rules and guidelines.
No campfire?
No open fires, period. No smoking, no alcohol. Those pick up after your dog, those kinds of things. And then a couple more signs from that entrance till you actually kind of get to the switchbacks, because people are in a habit of going one direction and we're trying to redirect them. Okay. One of the things that we are considering, and I want to hear your feedback, is restricting ATV use in the night hours. The times that came to me, but it's not a hill I have to die on, are like no ATVs from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I really don't want our emergency responders to have to respond to those switchbacks in the middle of the night to people on ATVs. And most people that are going up to enjoy those switchbacks aren't going up in the middle of the night unless they're, kids who don't realize how not immortal they are. So, but let's hear do you guys have feedback or questions or suggestions for us on that?
What is the history of people being rescued off the trails? Zero. Okay. So is that the reason, or is it because we want to reduce the noise, or what? What is the
I think it's some of both. I don't think our first responders have responded to a lot. My husband and I responded to a few years ago before we had first responders. So I know stuff happens up there. So it's kind of both. Some of it's noise, but the thing driving me was I'm not sure I see a lot of really good purpose for somebody to be up there on an ATV. And most of the ATV usage, well, that's not true. I'm not going to say it. It's not true. I was making it up. A lot of it is dirt bikes, and a lot of that's younger kids, and I don't know. That scares me to have them up there late at night. But like you said, we haven't really had any recent things.
And what is the liability the city has for any of that?
Yeah, why are we allowing motorized vehicles on that trail?
Well, I can tell you that number one, I know that the guys that when they donated it, they did it with every intention that OHVs would be allowed there. So that's the first. So that's the history. It doesn't lock us in forever, but that is the history. That their intention was that they would be allowed. Liability. Interestingly, I've learned municipalities have really low liabilities for things. So we have a really low bar that we have to meet, and if we keep it as safe as we can, basically, and are aware and put signage up, the city really doesn't have a lot of liability for that. Because basically, there isn't a city. It's basically us. So if you went up there and got hurt, you'd be suing yourself. So,
Who's in charge of the upkeep?
Who's in charge of the upkeep?
Are we the city?
So all that switchback does not belong to the city. Some of it is state, and is any of it national? I don't think so. I think it's
None of
state.
it's national. Part of it is DNR, and they prohibit ATVs up there.
Okay.
It's prohibited.
So tell me what your question was again, Reed. Oh, Reed, what was your question again?
That's it. I just wonder who's in charge.
Okay. Some of it's
You're saying what's our liability? We really have none if we're not doing anything other than put a sign up.
Right, well, and we do have, regularly we have, I mean, little bits of maintenance, you know, that we go up and do, and we've had a few scouts do a really good job on some of the turns to try and keep them up and maintain them. And it, also interestingly, I have learned that, because I would have never guessed this, but horses are harder on trails like that than ATVs are, which is interesting. I would have just never guessed that, so it looks news to me. Diane?
You're not talking about a curfew, a generalized curfew just for the ATVs.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but, I mean, I think the council would consider, are you guys tired of hearing from me? Do you guys want to?
If it's gonna be a general, I think 6 might be too late to start, because some
Right.
people like to be up at the top of the.
Well, and I think some people go up there and camp.
We have had,
If they don't set a fire, you know, I mean, I don't know.
we do have a curfew at the city park, and so we did
We do.
consider maybe having a curfew on the trail as well, just for safety reasons but we haven't, talked to it in depth. We were waiting to hear from citizens.
Brett?
Most of your cities, including here, we talk to police departments on noise curfew between 10 and 6 a.m. So, I mean, as a former user of the trails with ATVs, personally, I think it's a good idea to have that 10 to 6 p.m. curfew on motorized vehicles.
Okay.
That would include motorcycles and ATVs, just for no other reason than noise, because as we all know, those up here, noise really travels.
Right, and that's basically our noise ordinance are those hours too, so we would take those items.
Personally, you got my vote.
Okay, thanks. And there were two hands over here, and then we have to move on.
He said.
I think for Jeff and I, because we live right behind the trail,
Yes,
it's more for us if the city would determine the use of that trail. Are you allowing target shooting up there? Jeff and I are up there every other day. There are campfires at the top, there's alcohol, sexual activities going on up there. There's motorcycles that can't start their motorcycles that are constantly vroom, vroom, vrooming. I don't know if they have spark arresters on them. There's a definite liability for fire up there that the city would be held accountable for, in my opinion, if you don't determine use
right.
and how you are going to enforce that use. How are you going to enforce people going up there and not target shooting or not being up there at 10 o'clock?
Well, so,
Is the sheriff going to go up
so
there?
it's, first of all, it's my understanding, and I could be wrong, but I think, if we sign it, we put signage up and, then it's much easier for the law enforcement to enforce it.
Because we can put our ordinance at the bottom of the sign, cite the ordinance.
And so it makes their job much easier to enforce those things. And so that's one of the reasons we're trying to get signage up there and and define it.
Well, the
So
sheriff
yes,
has told me that they have to have pictures of license plates. It's very difficult to get a picture of somebody when they have a helmet on,
Right.
their ATV, on their
Right.
head.
okay,
And
Lynn?
people
Oh,
don't
sorry.
respect the signs that are up there now, not to trespass. They tear them down, they shred them, they run over.
right. We know that because we have a rows of clothes signs too that they take out, then school buses end up with their wheels in the air. Lynn?
I actually think that it sounds like a lot of us agree there should be some signage, especially that with private property. I like the idea of the city diverting around there. We can get used to that. I would much rather do that than go through somebody's private property, which I always knew we were doing.
Right.
I'm an offender,
Right.
but on foot. But the point is, I've always known we were going through private property, and every time my husband and I walk through, we're like, how hard would it be for the city to divert? It wouldn't be hard. So I would encourage the city to divert the trail, use the signage to indicate the new one.
Because isn't that nicer than having these poor people have to put up no trespassing?
I
signs
agree.
everywhere?
And then that one loopy road that I asked you about, the little half loop that goes.
The
back-
driveway? Yes.
Yeah. I think people think that's part of the city, because I thought that was part of the city. It is not, and it should be posted that that's.
It's private drive.
Yes.
That's a good, yes, thank you. Mark?
Yeah, this,
And then we have to move on, so.
as far as enforceability, the noise in a vehicle up there is really easy to know when you're violating, when you're not. But as far as firearms, and I agree, don't be shooting up there, but we don't have authority to enforce that outside of the city limits.
Right.
So once you get up there, and I do know that there are a lot of hunters on deer hunt and elk hunt that go up that trail and up that ridge. You know, so what I'm saying is, how would a policeman possibly enforce, you
Right.
know, shooting it? But what we do need to do is put a little sign, you are now in the city limits.
Coming down.
Come down and up, and now you're leaving city limits.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily.
No.
up, definitely coming down.
But, now, can I just say quickly, but we've got to move on to the next topic.
We need one more.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got one back.
Since he's the landlord.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, my name's Todd Tour, as a city, we're happy to be here. Great, you know, this is a great neighborhood, we're so excited, we're moving in shortly and home well design's done, so we're super excited. This is a tough meeting, and thank you for your service, you guys have a tough job. So I don't know, I'm a motorcycle user too, and ATV and everything. One thing I do know is that when I've used motorcycles in the past, there's always been a law that said it requires spark register.
And that is true.
About spark register, and whenever they allow ATVs, they've enforced it. You come into the park, they check the spark register, you use it without it, it's $500 fine, it's a big deal. Because it starts fires, we're from Alpine, we just had a fire because people using firearms, burned down half the mountain, second time burned down half the mountain, super dangerous. So from a safety perspective, it's an interesting thing. And as a community, we have to decide how we're gonna enforce it if we're not ATVs up there. That's my major concern. And once we do it, I would ask, we did have two kids roll their ATVs from a liability perspective. We were up there 2 days ago, or a week ago. I think they were 11-year-olds on a four-wheeler, and they came tearing down the city street, like the access road, and they hit the loose gravel and they rolled the ATV. And it just happened to roll up over the top of one of the kids. We ran over there and there was a nurse and tried to help them out. They didn't get seriously injured, but it could have been.
Well, see, they were already in violation of our city ordinance. We do have an ordinance that they were supposed to be within sight of an adult.
Well, we've asked about, when does it happen? I'm sure it happens more than you think, but that's great for you too. I'd like to take offline the access. We want you to use it, if that's what the team decides. We're gonna hand out Gatorades, because people are writing F you on signs. I'm like, wow, we're just trying to be good neighbors. We want you to use, we'll put a park bench up there for you, but we would love for you to divert around, and maybe the current plan is right on the property line. We'd love for us just to push back another 50 feet. There's already a road built there. And rather than hug the property line, just move it a little bit more on the city. I don't think it inconveniences the city, and it means a lot to us not to have people spending donuts in their backyard, but we can talk about that offline. And then the final thing is, it would be interesting, because we do pick up, and this is embarrassing to say, we pick up used condoms and human feces, people poo on our property stuff.
That happens at our.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
End of our street.
I think if we limited to not allow autos, there's no reason automobiles should go up there, because they park and they do whatever they do. We ought to have a gate that allows four-wheelers back, if that's what the team decides to do, divert up around up on the hill, and then figure out the start. I can't imagine why we want cars up parking up there on city property at night. It baffles me. I'm seriously concerned about fires. I own motorcycles, and those things shoot sparks out, spark arrestor. Who's gonna enforce that? People right up on the hill, I don't know. I guess you would deputize us, and my neighbor does a better job than I do, but we're too happy about it. And then I think that's not the only other thing I have. We were hoping it would just be for pet use and hikers and things like that.
Well, isn't that what the easement is right now that the city has, is water tank access and pedestrian only?
It does say pedestrian and water tank access only, so we actually assumed when we bought the property it was pedestrian access, and we were disappointed when we rolled through there. And I know it's been used for a long time for other than that, but we should discuss that as a team. We knew we were in trouble when the entire city council showed up in four-wheel drives. They talked to us, had four-wheelers, and they turned them all off in a big row. Like, oh man, we're in trouble. I don't think this is gonna work. But we'd love for you to seriously consider a fire risk. And then if you chose to have four-wheelers, let's not allow cars up there. And then if you do have four-wheelers, let's divert maybe around the property line, so it's not right on the line.
So I think we could have that discussion about autos.
So I
Where
agree
did the other
with that.
thing-
Hold on, Megan needs a, Megan, you were frantic.
Oh, it's okay. I was just gonna say, also, spot
It
in
is.
the
The problem
cul-de-sac
is,
behind us setting fires in the cul-de-sac, but the problem is that you call the police, it takes so long to respond. Actually, it's easier to catch them up there because they have learned the way of getting away. Cul-de-sacs, they get away quick. Yeah, and the cul-de-sac, catch them.
that's a chronic problem.
Like with our windows open, we can see people out on our back, basically almost on our property.
Yes, many other cul-de-sacs in the city have the same scope, the same problems. And
I'll be very quick.
yes,
Couldn't that trail, couldn't the switchbacks be a non-motorized trail? I know you're saying that the idea was that it should be
Right.
motorized, but it's a mile and a quarter. It doesn't go.
Where are you going?
It doesn't really need to be a motorized trail. It
So-
doesn't seem like.
so that is certainly a discussion we can have. I know that there are a lot of people that live here that enjoy those switchbacks that are too, they're getting older and they can't walk it. And they drive up and down a lot. So it's a conversation that we would have to have on a bigger level, but I think we have the stomach to have it.
Wendy, one other consideration,
Yes,
you're
sir.
gonna put like a 10 to 6 limitation on ATV. What about whenever there's a high or very high fire risk? Like you put the signs around, when you have a high or very high?
Or
no ATV.
very high or extreme. That's the
That's
conversation
something
we're
to
having.
consider.